The day Lorne announced that his girlfriend, Tammy Totters, was moving in, Nerlin and Doug exchanged looks that were equal parts horror and disbelief. Lorne had never exactly been a charmer, so seeing him with a girlfriend had shocked everyone. But Tammy Totters? She was a whole different story. On move-in day, Tammy strutted through the door like she owned the place, her bright orange skin gleaming under the harsh living room light. With her teased, bleach-blonde hair, acid-wash jeans and leopard print crop top, she looked like she'd just stepped out of a time machine from 1987. She tossed her bags onto the couch, glanced around with a smirk, and said, "Nice place, boys. Real rustic. I hope you don't mind if I spruce it up a bit." Nerlin, who had already spent half the morning scrubbing every inch of the house to prepare for Tammy, sighed heavily. He knew sprucing up was code for trouble. Tammy shot him a sidelong glance, her lips curling into a grin that never reached her eyes. "Hey, Nerlin," she sneered. "Didn't know the maid service was part of the package. Guess I'll have to keep you around." Nerlin shifted uncomfortably, mumbling something about how he liked to keep the place clean, but Tammy ignored him, strutting over to Doug. She put a hand on her hip, her gaze raking over him with shameless confidence. Well, if it isn't the man of the house. Doug, right?" She winked, ignoring Lorne's nervous look from across the room. Doug, ever the opportunist, gave her his biggest grin. "That's right, Tammy. Doug McGillicuddy. Strong, single, and the best cook in town." He held out his hand, but Tammy's eyes lingered a little too long on his muscles, and she let her hand rest in his just a second too long. Lorne's face went red as he watched the exchange. Tammy, babe, you want to help me unpack? I got, boxes in the car." He cleared his throat, looking from Tammy to Doug with a flash of worry in his eyes. Tammy shrugged, flipping her hair back and giving Lorne an exaggerated eye roll. "Relax, Lorne, honey. I'm just getting to know your roommates. Don't be so insecure." She slapped Doug's arm playfully, then turned her attention back to Nerlin, who was trying to slip away into the kitchen. "Hey, where do you think you're going, Four Eyes?" she called after him, her tone mocking. "Maybe you can make yourself useful and bring me something cold to drink. Not water, though. Don't you have anything stronger around here?" Nerlin stammered, barely making eye contact. We might have some beer left from last night." "Perfect," Tammy said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Get on it then, make sure it's cold, not whatever lukewarm garbage you usually serve. I like my drinks with class." Doug raised an eyebrow, watching as Nerlin shuffled off to get her beer. "You're real subtle, Tammy." She leaned in close, her smirk widening. "Subtle's for people who don't know what they want." She cast a look back at Lorne, who was busily unpacking, pointedly ignoring her antics. "I like a guy with a sense of humour and a little edge. You seem like the kind of man who knows how to show a lady a good time." Doug chuckled, half amused, half sceptical. "I dunno, Tammy. Lorne here looks like he'd kill me if I tried." Tammy laughed, a low, raspy sound. "Oh, Lorne knows who's boss around here, don't you, sweetheart?" She shot Lorne a pointed look, daring him to argue, but he just grumbled something under his breath and kept unpacking. Over the next few days, life with Tammy quickly spiraled into chaos. She made herself at home, taking over the bathroom for her tanning lotions and hogging the best spot on the couch while blasting 80s hair metal at full volume. She seemed to take particular pleasure in needling Nerlin, giving him nicknames like Poindexter and Nervous Nelly. Every time he tried to organise something or clean up, Tammy would accidentally mess it up and laugh in his face. But the real trouble was her relentless flirting with Doug. She would saunter into the kitchen whenever Doug was cooking, sidling up next to him and innocently brushing her hand along his arm as she reached for something on the counter. "You know, Doug," she'd say with a wicked glint in her eye, "a girl like me needs a real man around here. Lorne's sweet and all, but he doesn't have your confidence." Lorne, sitting in the corner, would sit there fuming but too timid to say anything. Doug, sensing the tension, usually laughed it off or threw in a sarcastic comment, though he couldn't deny he was amused by the chaos Tammy brought into their lives. One evening, Doug finally pulled Lorne aside. "You sure this is a good idea, Lorne? Tammy's... well, she's a handful." Lorne rubbed the back of his neck, looking embarrassed. I know. She's just got a big personality, all right. And she really likes me. I think maybe." Doug chuckled. "Just keep an eye on her. This one's got trouble written all over her, and I think she's only getting started." And sure enough, as Tammy cranked up the volume on her stereo and cast a sly wink in Doug's direction, everyone in the house knew that life at Burgle Cup McGillicuddy household was about to become more than a little unpredictable.